So welcome back my friends. Today our topic is statement of cash flows, right? So this is a sample in front of you, which is already there in the previous video on statement of cash flows. So just to recap it a little bit, if you remember, in statement of cash flows we have two methods. Okay, one is called direct method, another is called indirect method. Now these methods are used to calculate cash flow from operations only. Okay, what I'm talking about is, first of all, in statement of cash flows, you have three components. Number one is called operating activities. Number two is called investing activities. Number three is called financing activities. So if you see, I have colored here yellow and yellow. Only the first activity, which is operating activity, can be calculated by either using the direct method or indirect method. I hope you are getting the story. The remaining two activities, they are calculated the same way, whether you use direct method or you use indirect method. Getting it? Because this direct indirect thing is only for operating activities. Moving on, when you start your cash flow statement, you have to start with the profit, which is coming from the income statement, right? So normally we use profit before tax, as recommended by the standards, and then we do some adjustments, definitely, because in the profit you have some non-cash incomes, non-cash expenses. So if you have a non-cash expense in the income statement, you need to add back, like depreciation, amortization, loss on disposal, interest expense. If you have a non-cash income, you need to deduct, which is like gain on disposal or interest income. Now, if you see here the green color, interest expense I have added back here, and below interest paid I have deducted. Okay. So no matter if the same amount you have paid, you have to show this adjustment here. Because in the income statement we book interest expense on this assumption that it is on accrual concept. Getting it? So it is not necessary that we paid it. I have written for you also. So even if this is 100 and actually you also paid 100, no problem. You have to show here first of all reverse 100, then below here you can say minus 100. Okay. So moving on, once you are done with all these adjustments, you get something called operating profit before changes in working capital. And after that you have three major adjustments, which is inventory, receivables and payables. Once you are done with these three adjustments, you get cash generated from operations. Okay, so examiner can ask you these different line items, so you need to remember what he is asking you, where you have to stop. And after cash generated from operations, you need to deduct two things, which is interest paid and tax paid. And finally you will get your answer from operating activities. Okay, so this I have already explained in the previous video. I am not explaining again. So if you have any confusion, please go back and watch that video. Moving on, after operating activities, you have investing activities. In investing activities, you will talk about purchase of property, plant, equipment, if you are selling them, purchase of shares in other companies, if you are selling them, right? These two are very interesting, okay, and confusing points you need to remember. The examiner will ask you like this, a question: dividend received is going in which activity? Operating, investing, financing, like this they will ask you. So you need to remember. And how to remember this? Why you receive dividend? You receive dividend because you have invested some money in some other company, right or not? So that's why we take it in investing activities. From here you can remember this logic. I have written here also investment. Due to investment you are receiving dividend. Similarly, due to investment you are receiving interest, right or not? So that's why we take them in investing activities. So this answer can be plus or minus, you know very well. It can be net cash from or net cash used in. Once you are done with investing activities, you will go for financing activities. In financing activities, you have two major sources of finance: debt, equity. Debt means taking loan, issuing loan notes, debentures, redeemable preference shares, all those things, right? So equity, you are issuing shares, rights issue, all those things. Okay. preference shares, irredeemable preference shares, right? So if you issue shares, positive. If you repurchase the shares, negative, because you are paying the money. Okay. Proceeds from loan, positive. Repayment of loan, negative. This is very interesting point here. Dividend paid. Why dividend paid I am taking in financing? Because I am paying dividend to my own shareholders, right or not? And my shareholders gave me the money, they gave me the finance. So that's why I am taking it in financing activities. Examiner will ask you, dividend paid, where to take, which activity? So the answer is financing activity. I hope you got the story. So once you are getting all these three answers from operating, financing, investing, you net it off and then you do the reconciliation, which we will do after this one. Okay, so this is the whole story in 6 minutes we covered. Okay, so if you have any confusion, please go back to the previous video, 23 minutes video there, and watch the full story. Anyways, let's start the question. The question we have is AMS. Okay, so very basic question on cash flow statement. Very rare chance examiner will ask you a full-fledged essay question on cash flow statement. But to solve the MCQs on this topic, you need to know the complete picture. Getting it? If I show you, for example, these MCQs here, I have taken from your IMA study support package. Okay, in your IMA study support package, there are around 30 MCQs on this area, on financial reporting area. And out of those 30 MCQs, you can see here how many MCQs are on cash flows. More than half of the MCQs are on cash flows. Getting it? So how to solve these MCQs? First of all, you need to learn the full picture and then you can solve these MCQs easily. Okay, this is the purpose. But you never know. They can ask you. In essay question also, they can ask you a full-fledged question, but very rare. Maybe a basic type of small question they can give you. Again, my purpose not to teach you only for exam. For your practical perspective also, you need to know how to make cash flow statement. Right or not? I mean, in interview you will go later on after qualifying CMA. The interviewer will ask you, please make cash flow statement. What you will say? You will say, sir, I only know how to solve MCQ. I don't know how to make cash flow statement. Big problem, right? So that's why you need to know how to make the cash flow statement. Very important point. Exam technique, first read the requirement. Prepare a cash flow statement for the year ended 31st August 2008. Okay. So we need to make the cash flow statement. So they say AMS, a limited liability company, made a gross profit of $239,000. Okay. In the year 31st August 2008. So see, this is gross profit. Huh? Expenses amounted to 159,000, which included interest of 30,000, depreciation of 50,000, depreciation again premises 25,000, income tax 10,000, dividend paid 45,000. The best way to do is make this data in your Excel sheet or where you're working, notepad, or whatever you are doing. So let me write these figures here first of all. They told you there is a gross profit, then there are some expenses, right? So gross profit was 239,000. I am working in thousands. Okay. So expenses are 159. Okay. Then you have now within 159 there is a breakup which include interest of 30, depreciation of 50, depreciation of 25. Okay. So 30, 50, 25. So in this 159 we have interest and depreciation of some plant, right? And depreciation of some premises. Yeah. Okay. So it is 30, 50, 25. But this total, if you do, this total is not coming 159. This total is 105. It means there is some other expense also which we don't know. Getting the story? Okay, I hope you are getting the story. Now, income tax is 10,000 and dividend paid is 45,000. Paid, huh? It's not payable. Paid. So we have plotted all the information in the Excel sheet now. No need to read this paragraph again. This is the purpose actually. No need to read the paragraph again. So once you make the data, you throw away the paragraph. Okay. Now they say the statement of financial position for 2 years. I hope you remember, to make the cash flow statement, you need income statement of that year and the balance sheet of the current year and the last year. Without this information, you cannot make the cash flow statement. Okay. Again, I need the income statement of the current year. I need the balance sheet of the current year and the last year. So basically this information, this paragraph on the top they have given, this is the income statement, right? in a paragraph. And here they have given you the balance sheet for both the years. Okay. So my friends, there is one more paragraph here. They say during the year, plant which had a cost of 85 was sold at a loss of 10. Okay, this is the adjustment of non-current assets. Very basic adjustment. Let us see what they are talking about. So we can say the plant story here, plant adjustment. So there is a plant. For plant, there is some cost, there is some accumulated depreciation, there is some net book value. Then you got some proceeds, right? And there will be a loss or gain. In this question, I think they gave you a loss, right? Yeah, loss. So they say plant had a cost of 85 and was sold at a loss of 10. So loss is 10. Proceeds were 50. 50. What does it mean? It means, how much is my net book value? Can you tell me? What is net book value basically? Net book value means your perception, your estimation of how much is the worth of your asset. So I am saying, in my mind, I think my asset is worth something and I sold it for 50, but I made a loss of 10. It means, what is in my mind? 40 or 60? Good, 60. It means I am thinking the worth of my asset is 60, but I got only 50. That's why I am saying there is a loss of 10. Right? Anyways, once I got 60, I know very well how much is my accumulated depreciation. Tell me. It will be 25. Right or not? Now we got all the information. Now they said that this 10,000 is recognized in the income statement as part of expenses of 159. Okay, good. So that is also there. I can write here there is a loss on disposal of 10. So basically we know 115 of the expense out of this 159. Already we know this. I hope you people got the point. Okay. Remaining maybe some other expenses we don't know. We don't care while making the cash flow. Please write yes in the chat box if everything is okay till now. So let's start making the cash flow statement, my friends. And you need to tell me that how much will be my profit before tax? Because that is my first figure I need to write here. So what do you think? How much is my profit before tax? My gross profit is 239. My expenses are 159. Tax is 10. So how much should be profit before tax? Yes. Very simple.
80.
239 minus 159. Right or not? This is your profit before tax or not? Profit before interest and tax. No. Because if you remember, they said interest is also part of this 159. It means whatever figure is coming, that is profit before tax. 80. This 80 I am writing here. This is my starting point. Again, we are working in thousands, remember. Okay, we are working in thousands. Okay, can you tell me how much is my depreciation? How much is my depreciation? They told you, right? There are two types of depreciation they have given you. Remember? One was 50, another was 25. So what I need to do, I will add back. I will add back 50 plus 25. 75, add back. Right? Loss on disposal, we also know. We just calculated. How much? 10. Remember 10? This 10, this one here. Okay. This 80 I took here. And this 75 I took from here. Okay. Moving on, my friends, we have some interest expense, right? How much is the interest expense we need to reverse? 30. This one. Now see, this is on the assumption that this is on accrual concept. I don't care. I mean, right now, I don't care it is paid or not. I am reversing it on the assumption that it was recorded on accrual concept. Later on, below here in this 18, row number 18, I will check how much was paid actually. And that I will deduct here. Getting it? Can you tell me how much is my operating profit before changes in working capital? All are add back, right? So it should be 195. Everyone should get 195. This is our first stop. Now we need working capital adjustments. Inventory, receivable, payable. Okay. So let's go to the balance sheet and see how much is our inventory. This is 2007, this is 2008. Inventory was 550. Now it is 450. Inventory is going down or not? Going down. When inventory will go down, cash will go up or down? So I told you, remember that it's opposite. For the assets, it's opposite. So if inventory is going down, it means cash is going up. How much? 550, 450. So basically 550 minus 450, 100. I need positive, right? Because this is decrease in inventory, it means increase in cash. Receivables 680, 700. Minus, because receivable is going up. Increase in receivable, decrease in cash. Logic I already explained you before, okay, in the previous video. Payables 681, 648. Negative. Why? Because my payables are going down, so cash will also go down. Same relationship with the liability, same relationship. Okay. Please write yes in the chat box if you got the point. So moving on, my friends, we got our cash generated from operations, which is 242. Okay, this is the second stop. After this, we need to see how much interest we actually paid and how much tax we actually paid. Okay, how to identify? I mean, how to know? I mean, you will sleep, in your dream it will come that how much interest you paid. What will happen? How you will know this? So the answer is you need to go to the current liability. Where you want to go? You need to go to the current liability area to check, is there any interest payable? Is there any tax payable? Getting it? So we went to our current liability area, this one, and we checked that there is no interest payable. No interest payable. It means whatever was your expense, you paid. Getting my point, everyone? However, there is some tax payable. See this one, tax. There is some opening, some closing. It means we need to do some adjustment. Right? So my friends, how much was my interest expense? It was 30, right? 30, same as it is, you can write minus 30 because it is the full amount we already paid. I hope you are getting the story. Tax paid, we need to do some adjustment. Okay, so remember they told you there is some tax which is 10, this taxation. Okay, so there is some tax amounting to 10. This was my tax expense which I am recording in the income statement. So my friends, you can make a T account for tax to get this answer. Very simple. Let us make a T account. T account you will make for tax payable. Tax payable account. So this is a payable account. Definitely opening will be on the credit side and closing will be on this side. Right? Expense will be on this side and payment will be on this side. Correct me if I am wrong. So my friends, expense is 10 and opening balance on the tax account was 12 and closing is 10. So opening was 12, closing is 10. Getting it? Very simple. I mean, opening was 12, you booked an expense of 10, but your closing is 10. It means how much you paid during the year? You paid 12. I hope you are getting the story. So opening balance you paid already. So you booked an expense which is your closing balance. Because you know very well when you book the tax expense, you pay next year. Right? I mean the tax expense which you are booking at the end of your year, you will pay after 4-5 months. 9 months. Depends on country. Anyways, so this 12 is my answer here for tax. Minus 12. So we got the answer for our operating activities, which is 200. 200. This is plus. So I will call it net cash from operating activities. If it is minus, I will call it net cash used in operating activities. Please write yes in the chat box if you got the point. Moving on, my friends, the next one is investing activities. Okay. In this question, if you remember, they were talking about some plant. You sold a plant, but they didn't tell you purchased any plant or you purchased any premises, you purchased any land or something. They didn't tell. Of course, they will not tell. You have to calculate. How you will calculate? You will go to your non-current assets. Where you will go? You will go to your non-current assets and you will see what is your opening and closing balance. So we went here and we found out that the opening was 1870 and the closing is 2000. This is net book value or cost? Tell me in the chat box. This is net book value or cost? Net book value, very nice, because the amount written in the balance sheet, that is net book value. Okay, so 1870, 2000, this is net book value. In this situation, when you don't have the cost separately and the depreciation separately, you have to create a net book value account. Must question in exam, they will ask you like this. I will show in MCQs also. There is MCQ like this. So my friends, we need to create a net book value account. Okay. So net book value account. Now definitely net book value account is your asset account. Okay. Because cost minus depreciation, it is still asset. So opening will come on this side and closing will come on this side, right? If you are purchasing any asset, it will come on this side. If you are selling any asset, it will come on the other side, right? Disposal. Now you need to remember, when you purchase something, it will be recorded at cost. But when you dispose something, it will be recorded at net book value, because this is a net book value account. Disposals NBV you will record on the credit side. Getting it? If there is any depreciation expense during the year, again, you have to reduce this account, right? So let's see if we can solve it like this. By the way, we already know that there is depreciation expense. How much? 75. We disposed an asset for which the net book value was 60. Remember my estimation of the plant we sold 60. Opening, let us see how much is opening balance in our balance sheet. 1870. Closing 2000. So if I need this figure, what shall I do? Tell me how much is this figure. How much? Very nice. 265. Plus or minus? You are purchasing, right? So minus 265. Please write yes in the chat box if this minus 265 is okay with everyone. If any question, you can ask me now. Net book value account, must question in exam. You need to remember. By the way, the plant which we disposed, how much money we got out of it? Remember this one? 50. So that you can add here, because that is inflow. Okay, no other investment activities going on in this question, so we can total it. And this is our answer, minus 215. Minus, right? That's why I call it net cash used in investing activities. Okay. So this is the first one. And this is the second one. Now we are going for the third one. Financing. So we need to see, have we issued any shares? To see this, we need to go for equity. If you see, this is your equity. What is my opening equity? 1967. Closing 2592. But you will not take this difference. You need to go to the shares. 1300, 1800. It means I have issued more shares. Premium was 300, now it is 400. So I issued more than par value. Can you tell me the difference? I mean 1300 plus 300 minus 1800 minus 400, how much? 1300 plus 300 minus 1800 minus 400. Very nice. 600 is coming. It means I have issued shares of 600. Positive. Because money is coming in. Have we repurchased any shares? Not mentioned anywhere. We don't know. 0. Have we taken any loan? Let us see in the liabilities. Loan. So there is a loan note. Opening was 400. Closing is 200. It means we took a loan or we repaid the loan. Repaid loan. Okay, minus 200. Remember in the start they told you there is some dividend paid. This one 45. So this 45 I can write here. There is a dividend paid of 45. And that's it. How much? 355 is coming plus. Plus means net cash from financing activities. Till now everything is okay, my friends. If you have any question, please ask me now. Okay. Now see, all these three figures, 200 minus 215 plus 355, you need to net off. And tell me how much is coming. So 200 minus 215 plus 355. This is coming 340. Okay. How much is coming? 340. Plus, it's called net increase in cash and cash equivalents. If it is minus, you will say net decrease in cash and cash equivalents. Okay, cash equivalent means which can be readily convertible into cash. Okay, so my friends, after this 340, what you need to do is you need to go back to the balance sheet and check how much was your cash and bank. So we went here to see in the cash and bank, opening was 0. See, opening was 0. We don't have anything opening, but closing is 300, right, in the asset. At the same time, you need to go to your current liabilities and check, is there any bank overdraft? Yes, there is a bank overdraft. So there was an opening bank overdraft of 40 and closing is 0. I hope you are getting the story. So I was minus 40 in the bank at the start of the year, and closing I went positive 300. It means by how much I have increased? From minus 40 I came to positive 300. It means I have increased by 340 or not? Getting it, everyone? So my opening was minus 40. My closing should be how much? 300, and which is 300 by the way, and hence proved that you have created the cash flow statement properly. Getting it? So 300 is what? 300 is this figure, 300. See this one. So we have reconciled the balance, that from minus 40 how we went up to plus 300. Okay, so this is the art of cash flow statement. Please write yes in the chat box if you got the point. So moving on with the MCQs on cash flows, I have taken this from your IMA study support package. Okay, so MCQ, they are saying when using the statement of cash flows to evaluate a company's continuing solvency, the most important factor to consider is what? So solvency, let me tell you, it means long-term paying ability. Okay, in detail solvency you will study in CMA part 2. when you will come in financial analysis area. Okay, that what are solvency ratios and all those things. But solvency is what? Long-term paying ability. So which activity will tell you about the long-term paying ability? Is it the operating activity, investing activity, or financing activity? Okay, the answer of this question is B. What is the answer? B. What is B? Operating activities. Getting it? I mean, if you are selecting investing or financing activity, how that will help you to check the long-term paying ability of the company? Because in investing activity, you say how much we invested, how much we divested, right? In financing activity, how much you took, how much you repaid, that's it. But your ability, whether you can pay your financing or not, hearing it? I mean, you took a loan. Are you able to repay this loan or not in future? So which activity will tell you about it? Your operations. Are you generating enough cash flow from operations to sustain your financing needs or not? I hope you are getting my point. Are you generating enough cash flow from your operations to sustain your long-term paying ability or not? So that's why B is the answer. I hope you people got the point. And the point got you also. Getting it? So next one, they are saying dividends paid to company shareholders would be shown on the cash flow as what? Very simple question. You can tell me. Dividend paid will be what? Remember, we just discussed. Very nice. It is option D, financing. Okay, good. Then they say all of the following are classifications of cash flows except. Very simple question again. Pray that you get this type of question in exam. B is the answer. We have operating activity, investing, financing. We don't have anything called equity activities. Then they say the purchase of fixed assets should be accounted for on the cash flow as what? When you purchase fixed asset, where you take it? Very simple again. We take it in the investing activities. Okay. Then they say a statement of cash flows prepared using the indirect method would have cash activities listed in which order? Extremely important question, my friends. What is the order? Remember, we just made a full-fledged cash flow statement. So what is the order, my friends? It is operating, then investing, then financing. So what is the answer? D. Then they say Kelly. Okay, Kelly company acquired land by assuming a mortgage for the full acquisition cost. Okay, this transaction should be disclosed on the statement of cash flow as what? Okay, so when you acquire a land by a mortgage, you have two different types of activities involved. There is an asset, there is a liability. Getting it? You got the land plus there is a liability of mortgage. So what is the answer? Financing as well as investing. Getting it? Financing as well as investing activity. D is the answer for this thing. Okay, clear everyone? Because you are having a land on mortgage. So on one side you have investment, on the other side you have financing. So both are involved. Okay. Okay. Moving on, they say which one of the following should be classified as an operating activity on the cash flow? Okay, so think about it and let me know. What do you think? Decrease in payable. The very first one, I mean, when you read these options, the first one is very clear. It's the answer, right? But you need to tell me why other three are not the answers. Okay, so an increase in cash resulting from issuing of shares, where you will take it? Tell me. Option B, where it will go? Financing, very nice. What about option C? They say purchase of additional equipment, where it will go?
Invest.
Investing, very nice. The payment of cash dividend, where this will go?
Cash dividend payment. Financing.
Okay, good. That's why the remaining three are not the answers. Okay, A is the answer. 16. The most commonly used method for calculating and reporting the cash flow from operating activity is what? Which method we used? That is the most commonly used. B, indirect method. Okay, in indirect method, we start from the profit and we reverse. In direct method, in direct method, you take all the cash flows from operations, inflows, cash outflows from operations, and you net off. That is called direct method. That is not commonly used. And by the way, why indirect method is recommended? Because we need to tell the shareholders that profit is not cash. Getting it? Because many people, they have this misconception. Not everyone is accounting person, right? The shareholders, they have different backgrounds. So they don't know that profit is not cash. So we need to tell them by making the cash flow that, see, this is your profit, adjustment, 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 and finally you get your cash. I hope you are getting the story. 17. They say the presentation of the major classes of operating cash receipts less the major classes of disbursements is best described as what? This is what I was just talking about. Okay, that is the direct method. What is that? This is the definition of direct method. When you take your operating cash receipts minus major classes of operating cash disbursements, like this you present, that is called direct method. Okay. Okay, what about this one? 19. The information reported in the statement of cash flows should help investors, creditors, and others to assess all of the following except what? The company's ability to pay dividends, the company's ability to generate future cash flows, the management with respect to the efficient and profitable use of the resources, cash and non-cash investing and financing transactions during the period.
C.
Very nice. How the cash flow statement will tell us about the management, right? The efficiency of the management, right? So C is the answer. Okay, I hope everyone got the point. But the remaining three, because of the cash flow, you can see that how much you are generating from operations. So will you be able to pay the dividend or not? Will you be able to pay your obligations like interest payment, payables, your loans and everything, right? So also it will help you to see whether the company has ability to generate future cash flows, because you can see that they are making money from operations, right? And they are investing a lot in investing activities, right? So it means in future we are going to have cash flows. And then cash and non-cash investing in financing transactions, yeah, like what the adjustments, all of the adjustments we do, that is the non-cash adjustments. So we can see that. But the management with respect to the efficient and profitable use of resources, that's not clear from cash flows statements. Okay, so we got a calculation question finally. So keep your calculators ready, my friends. The correct amount to be shown as net cash provided by operating activities is So they say the company,
B.
sorry, this person Larry, the company's controller is gathering data for statement okay. The Mitchell is planning to use the indirect method, and this information you have. Net income is this much, securities purchased for investment
Yeah.
purposes this much, proceeds from issue of stock this much. So how much should be net cash from operating activities?
Yeah.
Yes, my friends. Very simple question. Security purchased for investment purpose with original cost of 100,000 sold for 125,000.
Huh.
So have you generated any income or not?
Yes.
But this is security.
25,000.
This is not your property, plant, equipment. Getting it? Okay. Security is purchased for investment purposes. Original cost was 100,000. You sold for 125,000. So there is a gain of 25,000. How to tackle this gain?
Gains credit 125.
My friends, the gain and loss on disposal on property, plant and equipment. Getting it? The gain and loss on disposal is on property, plant and equipment. We book because that is a non-cash expense resulting due to depreciation. When you purchase any security, I mean maybe last year you purchased a security for how much? 100,000. Okay. So last year we recorded minus 100 in investment activities. This year we sold for 125. So we will add 125 in investment activities. Getting it? I mean this difference of 25 you are not adjusting in this net income. That is not your gain on disposal of property, plant, equipment. Getting the point, everyone? So the answer is 100,000. A is the answer. Okay. 21. They say these transactions should be reported on this statement of cash flows as what? During the year, the company acquired a long-term productive asset for 5,000 and also borrowed 10,000 from a local bank. Yes, tell me. So you acquired an asset for 5,000 and you borrowed 10,000 from a bank. So when you acquire an asset, what is that? That is investment or not? Yes, investment.
Investing.
And you borrow some money, that is financing. So now you need to see outflow, inflow. When you are purchasing this, so definitely outflow.
Outflow.
And when you are getting a loan, inflow. So what is the answer? A is the answer. 21A. Okay, do this one please. 22. They say the amount to be shown in the investing activity section is how much? Purchase. Okay. Now see, very important point. At water company. This is your company. Okay. Which is making this cash flow. Purchase Trillium stock. Trillium means another company. It means you are not repurchasing your stock. Purchase Trillium stock. So when you purchase stock of other company, that is investment
Investing.
or financing?
Investing.
Getting it? Very important point. If they say purchase Atwater stock, like it's written in the third one, repurchase of Atwater stock. This is financing. Getting this? This is the treasury share basically. And then they say dividend paid to shareholder. So when you pay the dividend,
Financing.
my friends, it is investing or financing? It's financing. So only the first figure is investing figure. The remaining two figures are financing figures. So what is the answer? A is the
Yeah.
answer. Clear, everyone? Okay, do this one, please. They say the total amount of the above items to be shown in the operating activities should be how much? Now operating activities they are asking. Dividend paid will go where? Financing. Interest paid will go where? Operating. Remember, we took interest paid in the operating activities. Equipment purchase will go where? Investing. So what is the answer? Only 250. I hope you got the story, everyone. So these are some of the MCQs on your cash flow statement. Okay, there are some further MCQs also for your practice. I will share this file with you on the portal along with the answers so you can solve the remaining MCQs.